Hey YouTube, Aaron Whitlow.
Cam Whelan?
We're here with the Swoop Squad. We're gonna do our review today of the good, the great Goobies. Yeah,
You mean
Goobies.
Goonies?
That's why I said Goonies. We realized that there was a recurring theme in this movie. You can't get a great explanation for that. Here it is. Richard Donner, Dick Donner, did this movie. Spielberg was a producer on this movie. Chris Columbus, who is from Gremlins fame, he actually was also a producer on this movie.
Screenplay writer.
Screenplay writer, yeah, that's why I said screenplay writer in this movie. And in life, it's better if you just mess up, just say that's what I said, and just say what the other person said, and you'll be fine. Tell everybody what this movie's about.
This movie is about what it means to be a kid. It's got adventure, it's got drama, it's got action,
Suspense.
Yeah, and it just like it lets your imagination go crazy. When I was a kid, this kind of stuff I just dreamed about doing. This kind of stuff. It's
with your goondocks, with your Goonie buddies,
Yeah, with your little neighborhood friends, we'd go out in the woods and stuff, and just hope to find a pirate ship or whatever.
Treasure.
Yeah, some
even
kind of
in
treasure.
Kentucky. But but yeah, this movie, it's about this kid named Mikey, and Mikey. It's Brant. We got Chunk,
Data,
Mouth, aka Clark. We found that out earlier.
Andy and
Steph, aka Martha.
Yeah,
because what we called her. Because it was like throughout the whole movie, like Martha, because we didn't know.
Remember her name.
Nobody knew her name. Yeah. And then also, see these guys, they and girls, they end up in this cave. If you hadn't seen Goonies, they end up in this cave. To try to look for One-Eyed Willie's treasure. Now, before you say anything, One-Eyed Willie back then didn't mean what it means now. So it's okay to find One-Eyed Willie's and his treasure in the cave.
Yeah.
They're being chased by the good old
Fratellis,
who is Mother Fratelli.
Throw Mama from the train.
Yep.
Then you had Francis, who is Joey Pants. Joey Pantoliano.
And also, you know him from Matrix.
He was in the Matrix.
Which is ignorance is bliss. It's good. He's a bad guy. Yeah.
He was Cypher in the Matrix, and he was also in the Sopranos. He does a lot of Italian mobster type stuff,
sleazy type of guys.
I actually read his autobiography. It was really, really good.
I didn't know the man had an autobiography.
Yeah. It was really nice.
What else? We have good old
John Matuzak playing Sloth.
Yep, and then you also have the other Fratelli is Jake Fratelli.
Yeah.
Who the mom hates.
Yeah.
She hates all her kids except for Francis.
Yeah.
Who wears a toupee. It's not a toupee.
It's not a hairpiece.
It's not a hairpiece. Yeah, and so they're being chased by the Fratellis, these criminals that just recently escaped. One of them escaped out of jail there in Astoria, and they're chasing him into the cave, and they're trying to find his treasure, and then they start trying to get the treasure. They're essentially modern day pirates. Their job is to go in and try to stop the Goonies from obtaining what they are trying to obtain.
And it all starts out, you got your classic 80s cliche. You've got the poor kids being picked on by the rich kids, which is Troy and his dad. And
Troy's always the rich kid.
And his dad's a banker, and they're trying to foreclose on the Walsh's house, Mikey and Brent, their house. And Mikey, who in true Goonies fashion, he doesn't say die.
Goonies never say die.
He decides he's going to figure out a way to save everything. They go up in the attic just fooling around. They find this treasure map, and it leads them to the restaurant where the Fratellis are.
And off to the rest of the event.
Yeah, and then you're off to the races.
The movie, and obviously at the end you find out that they found the treasure. It's not a spoiler. If you hadn't seen this movie, something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, they find the treasure, and it's just a great movie. Now if you hadn't seen our shows, we're gonna talk about what's good about the movie, what's bad about the movie, and the rewatchability factor.
And this episode may be a little bit longer than the other episodes. Yeah. Just so you know.
Yes, so you know. Well, first, let's talk about what do you think that was good about the movie.
This is, I'll be honest with you, this is my number one favorite movie of all time. I think just about everything in this movie they did well. The casting was perfect. You couldn't have got a better group of kids together.
The
writing was excellent. I mean, there's some plot holes here and there. There's some things that but that's just movies in general. This is a kids movie. I'm a big kid.
He's a big kid now.
Yeah.
Because he don't want to grow up.
No.
But the movie, as he said, when we review the good. What's good about the movie, what's bad about the movie, and the rewatchability, like I just said. But it's hard for this movie because absolutely everything about it, in my opinion, is good. If there is any bad, it's just a smidge of bad. But let's talk about the good stuff that I like about the movie. I enjoyed, at first, I always thought Chunk was annoying, but when watching it now with Ken, he kind of shed some light on Chunk and his comedic timing. And the movie and the kid has great comedic timing in this movie. It's just like little jokes they did, like how in the world does he smell food? Because he's fat, but he smells food.
He smells ice cream.
He smells ice cream. And then when the Fratellis came back in and Francis had pizza, he said, "Pizza, pepperoni." How does he smell that? From down there?
Well, and everybody that knows this movie, truffle shuffle, ha ha ha. Yeah, that was a really good part, for him. But Jeff Cohen, the kid that played Chunk in this movie, I'm disappointed that he did not do more. He was so hilarious. Like, if you really watch him in this movie, even in the background, this kid is yucking it up. Like,
great. He's great at physical comedy too.
Yeah,
like the little falls that he does, like when and you see, I just got excited. But when they come into the bar after Mother Fratelli, tells me to go sit down, and when they go sit down in the restaurant, he falls out his chair. But it's hilarious because he falls and he doesn't skip a beat. He gets right back up. And also there's some things that we see in the movie, not only just with Chunk, but with Mikey. There's a scene that we notice when they're cruising, trying to make their way towards the restaurant, the winter restaurant that shouldn't be open at that point or something. Yeah, some restaurants shouldn't be open in winter.
Yeah, this is fall. This is a summer restaurant. They shouldn't be open.
But there's a scene that we noticed that Mikey falls off his, essentially almost crashes. He's on his bike. And he drops the map accidentally, not on purpose, not a part of the movie.
No.
He drops the map, and then he without a beat crashes his bike into one of the other kids' bike, and then goes running back and grabs the map and runs back, and then everybody continues on. But you can just tell that was not supposed to happen, and you can see that, and then.
But that makes it even more perfect because that's what kids would do. Richard Donner is a genius with this movie because he let these kids be kids while they were acting, and it works perfectly.
It's right. And there's a lot of things like what we said. There's nothing. This is not bad. This is all good things about this movie.
So yeah, right.
If you there's a lot of things in this movie that is just under the line. Things that is just written in there that is just so smart. And little nods to both Spielberg, Donner, and Columbus. There's a scene Jake Fratelli is wearing Indiana Jones hat throughout the movie. That's Indiana Jones hat. So that's a nod towards Spielberg and George Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
You got a nod towards Columbus with the Gremlins reference.
The cop, he's talking to Chunk over the phone, and he's like, is this another one of those things where you're going to tell me about these little critters that multiply when you spill water on them? Yeah, and then of course, Richard Donner, who did Superman and Superman 2. Yeah. There is, Sloth turns his shirt off and reveals the big Superman ass. And they play the theme. John Williams' theme for Superman. Yeah. It was awesome. This guy also referenced, and I don't know, we got to do a little bit more research. And you can tell us in the comment section later on if we're right or not. But he said he believes that the same theme that the whimsical theme in this movie is also the same whimsical theme from Neverending Story. One of the pieces of music, it's like that real. It's almost kind of like an ephemeral it's really when they're on the pirate ship and everybody's being quiet and they have that theme playing. It sounds kind of like the same kind of music that was in Neverending Story. You know, when Bastion's in, which is another one of my favorite movies of all time. But when he's in the attic reading the book, they play something real similar. Yeah. And I think it's the same people that do the music.
I don't doubt it. I mean, you can see like little niches in there, like, and obviously it's very heavily Indiana Jones with the booby traps.
Yeah, the booby traps.
That's what I said, booby traps. You can. I mean, that's just the movie in my opinion is great, and I love. We're gonna talk about the bad because we say we gotta talk about bad. What's bad is what's not actually in the movie, but if it was in the movie, it would have been bad.
It would have been real bad.
Yeah, and that's the octopus.
Yeah.
The octopus. I like
Smart
the fact.
choice.
I like the fact that the octopus is not in the movie because when Data is telling the adults at the end of the movie, there's an octopus, and then there's an octopus. When I was a kid and watched it, I was like, "What octopus?" And I thought it was hilarious because he's making up stuff.
Yeah,
and it actually works.
Yeah,
works better
because the kids make up stuff through the whole movie anyway.
Yeah,
but I mean, going back to the good for a second, like each of these kids for the role that they were chosen for were perfect. Corey Feldman, his mouth, the looks he gives Rosa when he's telling her about the drugs. And he's got this like real sadistic look on his face, perfectly executed. Sean Astin, he plays the not quite close. Well, I mean, there's like when he's going down to the bathroom, when he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. He's going down the bathroom. He's looking up the stairs and he's stepping back. And as he turns around, perfectly timed, hits his head on the light bulb. It's like he didn't know it was there. He reacts perfectly.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
You know, the Josh Brolin at playing the big brother, he just throws Sean Astin around like a rag doll.
And I noticed something at the end of the movie when he's like, "This is our dreams, this is our hopes," and this was Sean Astin saying, Mikey's saying, "This is our dreams, this is our hope." And he's like, "Come on!" He grabs him out the water. Yeah. He yanks him out the water like it was nothing. like feet. You see his feet come up, and it's amazing because like. Man, the guy's strong, and Josh Brolin has not aged one bit at all.
No, that dude's immortal. I think he's one of the he's like the Nick Cage, John Travolta vampire,
the Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, Timac. Yeah.
But
and Jeff Cohen, like I said, is great. Chunk
made the movie.
Well, he didn't make the movie, but man, like I could have watched a Chunk movie. I could have.
Essentially, did watch a Chunk movie.
The kid, Mr. Kwan that plays Data,
and I proved to him, proved to him to the swoop billions here. I proved to him that my boy Data is short round from the Indiana Jones. He denied it. He had a lot of deniability on that. That's a word I just created. It makes sense to me, and so. I IMDb'd it. Great people over at imdb.com, and I proved it. It's just facts. Same guy.
I was shocked, but
I don't remember him in Encino Man, but that's not the point here. Nobody remembers Encino Man. But another thing that is bad if I had to point out one thing in this movie that is considered bad, it would be Andy.
Yeah.
Andy would be what's bad about the movie.
Yeah, Andy. I mean, she was cute. A little something for the boys.
Yeah.
But as a character and as
she was clearly there just to be a love interest towards Brant.
Yeah, and
the piano scene, but that could have clearly gave that to Steph.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't know if there's a point for. I guess there's no point for Steph to be there if she was Andy's friend, so that's why she's there. That's what makes her a Goonie.
I consider Martha Plimpton more of a Goonie than I do Andy.
I don't even think Martha Plimpton, aka Steph, was a rich kid. I mean,
no, she didn't dress like it. She was diving for crabs at the beginning of the.
She was diving for crabs, so she was a Goonie. Yeah. So
she had her whole head in the bucket digging. She did, crabs.
and that's what Ken put a little note on his pad. What was Martha doing?
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's what it was. She was diving for crabs with her whole head in the crab bucket for some reason. I don't know why. Nobody knows why.
Yeah.
Why does Chunk press his drink against the window? I guess he was excited. I don't know why. He
was excited, yeah.
Why does Mouth put his face over the spout when the water shoots up? It just, but it makes sense because, and we also realize this, and it makes sense because of this. Nobody, Martha or Steph, Andy, Brand, Mikey, Data, none of them seen what's going down with the Fratellis except for Chunk. Chunk is the harbinger of doom in this movie. He is the harbinger of doom. His whole thing in this movie was to tell people, don't go in there. Let's not do this. Let's not do that,
He's
guy.
the voice of reason.
Thank God the door's locked.
Yeah, that was a good moment. He's like, oh, it's locked, and immediately he goes, thank God. But he knows that bad things are about to happen.
I mean, but and you know what? And honestly, that pretty much sums up my list of what was bad about the movie is Andy, character Andy, and also what would have been bad about the movie is if they put the octopus in there.
Well, and this movie was rated
PG-13.
Was it PG-13?
I'm pretty sure if it's not PG-13, it's G.
It's PG.
It's PG. It's rated not PG. Even a 13.
Not even a 13. So this movie was rated PG in 1985 or 6. I think it's 6.
6 years old at that point.
Where's this?
We're gonna say 86, 85.
Yeah, well we'll say 86. Anyway, 85, 86.
85, 86.
When Nintendo came out.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of cussing in this movie. And it was the kids doing it. 80s PG, 80s PG-13 is different from today's PG and 13. PG-13 or PG. 80s, all bets were off. You can pretty much say whatever. There's a lot of S words. There's a lot of there's some hells. There's some dams.
There's some sexual innuendos.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be here if it wasn't. But there's a lot of things that is being done. But we're gonna get to our rewatchability factor. Yes, imminent, unlimited rewatchability. This movie has it's not even, and it's from the only thing in this movie that is dated is the clothes in which Mouth is wearing. That and Brand. That's the only thing that's dated in this movie. This movie is timeless. It's one of those movies that is done right.
Yeah, it's definitely a classic. It's like I said, my favorite movie of all time. My number one of all genres, bar none. Goonies. Goonies
is good enough for me.
It's definitely good enough for me too, man.
Yeah. And Cyndi Lauper, but we ain't. That's a different thing. Yeah. Cyndi Lauper did a great job with the song, the title song. Although it's not called Goonies, it's good. Well, actually, it's called Goonies Are Good Enough for me. Yeah. In the video, though, if you hadn't seen the video, YouTube it. It has wrestlers in it. It has nothing to do with the Goonies.
It has the kids.
It does have the kids in it.
And they were excited, man. Yeah, they were pumped to be on that video.
I would have been too. You got Captain Lou Albino. You got I believe Roddy Piper was in there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that
I think Nikolai Volkov. Yeah, I'm a wrestling geek too. But the video's great. The movie's great. The movie is about to be 30 years old, as Ken says. 30 years old, and it still holds up to the crap that comes out today.
Oh yeah,
it passes the crap that comes out today.
And I'm really excited because there's a lot of really, they announced a couple months ago that they're actually moving forward with a Goonies 2. And from what I understand, they're getting the whole cast back together. Hopefully, they even get Jeff Cohen. I would love that.
He should have a fat kid.
Yeah. And it's just it's 30 years too late, man. They should have done it the year after. They should have just been pumping these things out with the same cast.
Before we close today, I want to mention some Easter eggs for you in this movie. If you go get the movie, I rented it from or checked it out from the local library here, Bowling Green Public Library, aka Warren County Library. You can go there and check it out. But a lot of Easter eggs in here to watch it. If you ever watch this movie, just look for some things. At the beginning of the movie, Richard Donner's RV is parked kind of off the frame right by Mikey's house and Brad's house. Another Easter egg is...
Well, one thing that I'd never noticed, and I don't think you noticed it until we watched it this time, was Bran, when Mikey and them take off, Bran has to go after him, and he steals a bike from a little Asian girl. It's Data's little sister.
In real life, too. But yeah, that's later on. But yeah, Data's little sister. He steals from Data's little sister. Another thing we noticed, which I don't know if Richard Donner caught it, but hats off to Richard Donner. When Brand goes in to get Mikey out of the restaurant, Mikey knocks out Brand's bandana, but it gets caught wedged kind of in between Mikey's shoulder and Brand's back, and it's almost about to fall off, but it doesn't fall off. And then the next scene, he has it back on. At first, I was going to say continuity error, but I don't know if Richard Donner caught it or Sean Astin caught it, but great job.
Yeah.
No continuity error right there. There's a scene where when they was walking, were they in the pirate ship at that point with the water when Brand trips?
Oh yeah, yeah. Slips. They're beneath decks and they're walking through, and he grabs something and he starts to walk and he almost falls.
He almost tanks.
Yeah.
That's a little Easter egg to kind of look into. Also,
he actually slipped.
Yeah, and then obviously I mentioned when Mikey dropped the map at the beginning of the movie. And then there is a scene, we can't find it. If you find it, please comment below. There should be a scene somewhere with Steph, Martha, Plimpton falls asleep somewhere. We can't find it. It's in there somewhere. But, you find it for us and you let us know.
And there were rumors that R2-D2 was on the ship, but I've never found him. I've never seen him. I don't know.
That would be so awesome.
Yeah.
And then also the last thing that you'll notice is at the end of the movie, those are the actual parents of the entire children cast.
Oh yeah, and when they first when they come down the water slide and they land in the water and they turn around and they see the ship, those are real reactions. This is the first time those kids had seen the set that they were going to be working on for the next month or so.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. I'd have the same reaction. I'd be like, "Holy crap, that's awesome!"
And me and Ken are gonna now try to work with Universal Studios to get this to be an actual ride.
Yeah, that would be an awesome ride.
But Goonies is good enough for me. It's good enough for Ken Whelan. We absolutely enjoyed this movie. This movie is one of those timeless movies. There's other kids movies that are great, but none of them can beat Goonies, in my opinion. Goonies is by far the #1 kids movie, and it's timeless. Other movies, Monster Squad, doesn't hold up today. I love Never Ending Story, but it doesn't hold up today.
I got gripes on that one. If we ever review that, yeah.
we will. But once again, Aaron Whitlow,
Ken Whelan,
and we are the Swoop Squad, and this is our review of the Goonies. If you have any comments below, please list them. Tell us what you think. What do you think we should review next? Like us, follow us on YouTube and Facebook. You can follow us if you want to.
Yeah, I don't. You can follow me if you want.
You can follow him. He doesn't mind it. But
I like it.
He likes people to follow him. We could talk about his absolute love for Hermione, but that's a different thing. But we thank you and hope that you enjoyed it, and you have a great day.